Hello there everybody and welcome back to Movie Squirm. Today I'm going to be doing another ranking video, and this is actually going to be a director ranking of Robert Eggers. Now he has just released Nosferatu, of course, and I've watched all of his movies this week. 2 of them for the first time, 2 of them rewatches, so I thought now's the perfect time to just do a little mini Robert Eggers ranking there. Now I think as a visual director he is one of the best out there. I think his movies are just gorgeous to look at if you're an upcoming film student or director wannabe, or even a director who's just getting off his feet or whatever, and you want to make visually stunning films. I think you can look no further than Robert Eggers' movies. I mean, you could take a lot of inspiration from that, I feel, because they just look so different and so unique to mostly any other films that I see from certain directors. And most of these movies, I mean, in fact, 3 of them are really, really good films, I'd say. There's only one that I really don't like, which I'll speak about in a minute. But guys, if you want more director rankings or franchise rankings of horror movies, I'll leave them in the link down below. Don't forget to go and check all them out. And don't forget to leave your Robert Eggers ranking in the comments down below. It'd be good to see if any of them match mine, because there is a possibility. You know, there's only 4 movies here, or if they're completely different. So let's get into it now. In 4th place. Coming in 4th place is going to be The Lighthouse. Now, I don't want to keep repeating myself here, but the best thing alongside the 2 performances here is the visual look of this movie. It's all done with a different aspect ratio. It's done with black and white, and it all just absolutely feels authentic. Like, it feels like that is how the movie should be made, to tell this very complicated story, which is the way I see it. But also the performances here are fantastic. William Dafoe especially, who I think is just one of the greatest actors in the world right now, or who's ever lived, to be honest. He just absolutely eases into performances, doesn't he? And here, you can't take your eyes off the guy. He is a very interesting character who's kind of like a pirate a little bit at times, the way he talks and stuff. And Robert Pattinson as well is kind of a quiet sort of character in this movie, but starts to get a little bit louder and stuff as the movie goes on, and as we learn more about this character. You know, it's kind of like a opening of a personality, really. But I have no fucking idea what this movie is about. Like, look, a lot of people might call me stupid, you just don't get it, and then pretentious people who go, "Oh, you just didn't get the movie." Yeah, you'd be right, because I don't get what this movie is trying to say. I have rewatched this. Now, I watched it for the first time about a year ago, and I rewatched it again this week, and I still just don't get what the hell this is going for. William Dafoe farts a lot, and Robert Pattinson masturbates over a mermaid statue, and then sees visions of this mermaid. I mean, the main sort of central core, I feel like, is these 2 characters going crazy, and it's only them 2 on the island, so it's kind of like an isolated type story. But man, I just don't get all the hidden meanings here. I don't know what it was going for. I was scratching my head after the movie. I haven't looked up what this movie is about, because I didn't get it on rewatch, and I'm thinking, should I really look that up? I probably will eventually, but I just don't get it. I don't. And after it, I was just feeling like a complete waste of time. Now, I did give it 2.5 stars on Letterboxd, because the visual style of it and the performances, they are what get you through the movie, I think. But just a very uninteresting film that just isn't for me. It's too art housey, which I'm not against, but sometimes you can go a little bit too far with that. And I wouldn't say pretentious, but there's a certain geographic for people who like these movies and people who don't, and I'm more in that don't camp. So unfortunately, the 4th place, the only movie I don't like on this list, is The Lighthouse. Coming in 3rd place is going to be the new kid on the block, and that is Nosferatu. Now, visually, again, this might be his overall best looking movie. I mean, absolutely stunning to look at, and I do really like this movie. I do think this is a film with the most potential to move on this list. I feel like this could go up on rewatch, but I have only seen it the once. However, I have heard people say that on rewatch, this can actually do it a lot more for you and be much more of a better viewing experience when you kind of know what you're in for. But a lot to like I said. I mean, this is a really well-paced first hour. I think it's a slow burn the whole movie, but the first hour you're always leading to something. You're always thinking, what's around this corner? What's going to happen here? Really mysterious, always keeping you guessing and kind of wanting to know what the goal is with this Orlok character. What's he up to? What does he want from this Lily Rose Depp? What does he want to come and get a house for over in Germany and stuff? He constantly questioning that. And the second half of the movie, I don't think it really executed what the first half was promising, but it is still a good second half of the movie. I just think it slows down a little bit more there and is a bit unevenly paced, unlike the first half. But great solid cast all around. Everyone puts a great performance in here, especially Bill Skarsgård, who is unrecognisable in this movie, mainly down to Robert Eggers and the lighting. Now, I think he utilises the lighting so well in this movie. We don't really, like, we meet Count Orlok early on. We don't fully grasp what he looks like until towards the end of the movie, because that is all down to the master of lighting, really, and visual look of Robert Eggers, who just casts him in the shadows and makes the shadows dance around this character, and it totally works to keep him more mysterious as the movie goes on. But yeah, like I said, great performances all around. No one really put in a bad one here. You know, nice to see Nicholas Hoult in the main protagonist role, who's really having a resurgence lately. But the story, whilst I won't say it's the most interesting story in the world, there's enough going on around it and the side characters and stuff to put more meat on the bones, I think. But yeah, a pretty good movie. I would like to watch this a second time, which I will at some point, maybe when it comes to 4K. But for now, it's just in third place. But still a really good film. Coming in second place is going to be The Witch. Now, this is actually a first time watch for me alongside Nosferatu. I was just late to the party with this one, and my God, man, I can see why people give this a lot of praise. Now, this is basically about a family who move, or they're sort of cast out the village because their father, played by Ralph Ineson, who has got a great voice, hasn't he, let's be honest, sort of speaks up about the religious beliefs and questions it. So they banish him out the village and they go and live in the countryside, and they're struggling to survive because they just feel like as a family they are cursed. When they get there, their baby, the little baby who's born, goes missing, and the crops are starting to die out and become rotten, really, and they're really struggling to survive. And this is all basically showing how a family can sort of deconstruct and, you know, fall apart, really. And what I like about this, each character in the movie is given a lot of time to basically have their own story path. Even the two little twins in this movie, who don't really feature too much, they come into it a lot later on, and you're thinking, are they really talking to this goat or not? That's kind of on the farm with them. What's going on there? The mother is breaking down. She can't cope. Anya Taylor-Joy's character, who is a wonderful actress in this movie. I think she's only like 16, 17 in this film, but she really puts in a great performance here. You can see why she's gone on to great things. As the best character in the movie, really, who really sort of, you feel like she's going to go off on a tangent here and there. You know, the father who's adamant that they can survive. You know, everyone's just got their own little view on what's going on. And it really does feel like this family is being torn apart. But in the midst of all that, you've just got this witch who's kind of living in the countryside and maybe causing all this carnage. And we sort of delve more deeper into that later on. And it is one really creepy scene in this film involving the witch, whose little house is in the middle of the countryside there, where the young boy comes along and notices it. And I was just watching that going, shit, man, this is really fucking freaky and getting under my skin here. And I thought it had a very solid ending as well, where I was just like, huh, that was a pretty damn good movie. So yeah, not too art housey or anything, like the Lighthouse or anything. It does go there a few little times. But overall, I think this is his most kind of straightforward movie, I feel. But not too much blown up or going on. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one, and definitely his most scariest movie that he's made. So that is The Witch. Coming in first place, though, is going to be The Northman. Yes, a non-horror movie that comes in first. But I watched this at the cinema in 2022, and I thought this was one of the best films of the entire year. Now, when I did rewatch it, did come down just a little bit, but it's still got a solid 4-star ranking over on my Letterboxd. But Man, there's no denying that this movie is absolutely brilliant. It's more of a blockbuster style movie for Eggers here compared to The Lighthouse and The Witch. I know Nosferatu probably is in more of that camp, but this is a pure action Viking epic here. And I believe Alexander Skarsgård kind of wanted to make this movie for a while, and him and Eggers sort of came together and thought, yeah, we're going to do it now. This is a proper revenge tale where Alexander Skarsgård's character father is killed at the start of the movie, and he goes to live with these kind of outsiders, really, who aren't really great people. And when we visit him many years later, that is when he goes on his path to avenge his father. It's quite a simple tale, really. Eggers does throw a few of them little weird moments in there, I will admit, and they kind of bring it down for me just a little bit there, but it isn't too much. I mean, it's not overplayed or anything. I mean, when people are barking like dogs and stuff, I'm kind of like, oh, okay, what's going on here? But overall, solid movie, very, very enjoyable. And there's a scene in here where we go into this village. It's kind of all done like a one-shot take at times, and it is one of the best moments of the entire year of 2022. Like, I think that might have been my favorite moment overall. It's absolutely amazing to look at. Alexander Skarsgård is absolutely jacked in this movie, and yeah, I mean, it's got everything you want from an action blockbuster, really. With that time period, I mean, you feel like you're really cold watching this film. But great performance from Anya Taylor-Joy and everything in there, coming back again for another Eggers movie. Yeah, for me, this is number one film. Absolutely brilliant entertainment with an epic ending as well, where, you know, it all builds up to this crescendo and it pays off. So for me, in fourth place is The Northman. Okay, guys, hope you all enjoyed this Robert Eggers ranking. Don't forget to leave your rankings down below, guys, and check out my other rankings. What do you think of these movies? Are you a fan of Eggers? Are you not? Please do let me know. Thanks so much, guys. If you like horror, please give this video a like and subscribe to this channel. It'll really help me out. You all take care, and I'll see you all in the next video.